Hey now guys, what is happening? I am back with yet another epic for you today. This one being number 345, Micronauts Volume 2, Home Sweet Homeworld, Micronauts The Original Marvel Years, Volume 2, Home Sweet Homeworld, covering issues 21 to 35, Annual 2, and material from Marvel Preview number 4 and 7. Written predominantly, like he did all of it. Written completely, I should say, by Bill Mantlo and artwork by Pat Broderick. Also some artwork from Val Mayerick, Steve Ditko, Keith Giffen. Hold on. Keith Giffen, I got to give everybody their credit. Ed Hannigan, Keith Giffen, and Rich Buckler. So hats off to them, props to them, whatever. All right, guys, let's get into it. Volume 2, covering 1980 to 1981, and priced at $49.99. Way too much, I think, for a Micronauts book, but what are you going to do? Marvel is going to marvel with their prices. Yeah, so I'm going to say this, first of all, guys. Micronauts is a very good book, surprisingly. I thought it was, I still believe in the beginning, especially Volume 1, it was a blatant ripoff of Star Wars. Granted, I mean, Star Wars was uber popular at the time, and everybody was trying to cash in on that brand. So, of course, naturally, Marvel, who also published their own Star Wars comic book, figured, well, let's do Star Wars with a line of toys, And lo and behold, of course, we have Baron Karza, who is totally Darth Vader. We have Commander Rand, who is like a combination of Han Solo with Luke Skywalker, Marionette, who's like Princess Leia, and we've got roboids, like R2-D2 and C-3PO and all that. But here's the thing, with Volume 2, I feel like the Micronauts have gotten their groove, gotten their niche. I will say, though, interestingly enough, a lot of the Marvel Universe, they are definitely like ROM in the Marvel Universe. And I asked myself when I was reading with these appearances, because there was the Fixer, Mentallo, Hydra, S.H.I.E.L.D., Nightmare, Doctor Strange's villain. Who else? Come on, help me out here. Who else appeared? I mean, like there was just so many. Doctor Strange appeared. Doc Samson, Leonard Samson, he showed up. Now it's cool. Now I'm going to say this. It's cool that the Micronauts are firmly planted in the Marvel Universe. However, I wonder if that's because sales probably weren't so good at the time. At some point, there's a slump. A book reaches its peak and then it's just goes down. Hopefully it gets back up. But I think in this case, the writing's already on the wall, and the book has only been out since 1979. We're only up to 1981. So I don't know. Again, I could be totally wrong. I wonder if Jim Shooter or Marvel thought, let's just really bring the Micronauts truly in the Marvel Universe with all these guest appearances, similar to ROM. It's funny, I'm surprised they didn't make like a ROM Micronauts book, kind of like Cable Deadpool. They should have done like a Micronauts ROM book written by Mantlo. I mean, Bill Mantlo wrote both books. I'm looking at the ROM books. It's all Bill Mantlo on ROM, all Bill Mantlo on Micronauts. So why not? It just feels like there's a similarity, especially after I just finished ROM Volume 2 and just read through Micronauts Volume 2. It just feels very similar. And interestingly enough, the Palladium or the Plandanium, I think that's what it's called, the armor that's used for ROM's metal armor, was actually mentioned in Micronauts, interestingly enough. And I was like, that's interesting. There's a connection right there. I mean, again, it makes sense that Bill Mantlo wrote both series, but he's in some maybe subconscious or subconscious way, unconscious, in some underlying way. Let's just say that he's bridging the two works that he was doing at the time together, without not even a guest appearance from either book. Like Rom has yet to appear on Micronauts. Micronauts hasn't appeared on Rom. So, but it's funny how they seem closely related, you know. So let's get to the story. We now have and Plant Man, also Plant Man. That's actually the first villain who appeared in issue 21 that starts off this book. And you probably wondering, who the fuck is Plant Man? He's just a corny character that Stanley created with the eel, porcupine, scarecrow, those guys back in the 60s. Plant Man hooks up with a girl who works in a greenhouse. Meanwhile, he's plotting to bust into a bank vault next door. And Marionette and Arcturus Rand, Commander Rand, they stop him. Oh, so let me just review real quick. So the last volume, issues 19 and 20, had the Micronauts fighting this dude named Odd John, and Ant-Man, again, another Marvel character. Ant-Man guest starred, Scott Lang, by the way, not Hank Pym, helped the Micronauts defeat this dude. And then they got scattered, they got separated during the fight. So with issue 21, which starts this volume, Commander Rand and Marionette take on Plant Man. Then Acroyear, I forget what happens with him, but he goes off on his own thing. Bug also was another one that got separated and did his thing. And then they, of course, eventually get back together. Molecule Man also guest stars. It does feel like every issue does have some kind of Marvel hero or villain involved. Molecule Man was a black dude. It was weird. Black dude with a big afro. Wonder if I can find it. But it was weird. It was a wino. A wino found the Molecule Man's wand and just turned into the Molecule Man with this huge afro. It was kind of silly. I don't know. There's Baron Karza. Baron Karza does come back. And this is actually the huge arc of the story. Baron Karza, from issues 25 to 28, Karza returns thanks to using the Enigma Force, which is in Commander Rand. He manages to inhabit the body of King Argon, who is the brother of Marionette and the lover of Slug, who is part of the Resistance, who initially overthrew Baron Karza in the last volume. Baron Karza managed to plant a suggestive thought in Argon's brain, where once Karza was defeated, Argon would become bad and offer his body as a host to resurrect Karza. And through I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but just through the miracle of comic books, he comes back to life and menaces the Micronauts yet again. So then they have to deal with him again, but they defeat him. They destroy Karza, but it also destroys Commander Rand. By the way, I just want to say Commander Arcturus Rand, his codename is Space Glider, but not once is he called Space Glider. He's only called Space Glider in the panoply that opens up the when it shows their faces, like the cast of characters on the very first page. You see Space Glider under his name, but I mean everybody still calls him Commander Rand. Arcturus, Marionette is the only one who calls him Arcturus, but it's Rand, Commander Rand. I don't know why they bother with Space Glider. I mean, I wish I could ask Bill Mantlo, why would you use a name in the first page and like nobody ever uses it, not even as a code name? Like Wolverine, Logan, James, whatever, Howlett is Wolverine, and people call him Wolverine or James or Logan interchangeably, but not once has anybody called Commander Rand Space Glider. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, but at one point, Acroyear, I think it's the name Acroyear, he uses the world mind after his brother Shaitan, who helped resurrect Baron Karza back to life, gets blown up. Acroyear uses the world mind to destroy his own planet of Spartak in order to defeat Karza a second time. but then he's branded a traitor. Biotron gets killed. There's a traitor in their midst by the name of Dagon, who's also an Acroyer, who kills Biotron. Later on, like issue 33, 4, 5, they bring in this big red dude named Devil, and Fireflight, who's like this little fiery. She says she was like, she's part of the Enigma Force. That's the next storyline, by the way. Those are just the new members. Fireflight, Devil, they replaced Biotron. I really got annoyed with reading Bug. I love Bug. Bug had some really good lines, but every so often there's this word tick, tick. I guess he's making a sound, like a ticking sound because he's a bug, but it was so annoying, so I just skipped reading that, guys. Don't even bother doing tick, tick, tick. Oh, God, it's so stupid. But, yeah, there's a lot of pathos. Everybody's just all fucking ruined, you know? Bug is still saddened over Jasmine. Jasmine was his lover who got killed in issue 17 in the last volume. So he's still affected by her death. Acroyer is, of course, brokenhearted about his brother, brokenhearted about betraying his people, causing them to flee, destroying his planet. He temporarily leaves the team. Marionette, who cares? And I think Lady Celicia left. Oh yeah, she left. Lady Celicia left Acroyer because he's no longer the warrior she thought he was. So she's basically like, you're a punk. I don't like you. I'm leaving. So she left him. Like everybody lost all their lovers except Ran and Marionette. They're still together. Actually, Ran lost the Enigma Force. He was temporarily in like a dreamlike coma, which leads into issue 29. 28 was the destruction of Karza and the Enigma Force. Then 29 is where they fight Nightmare. Then they have to go inside Rand's brain to like get him out of his dream. Like they had to go into the right brain and get the left brain to connect. It was weird. It was like kind of like a Fantastic Voyage issue. And Nightmare, who's usually a Doctor Strange villain, was stopping them with all these illusions of their doubt and everything. But of course they saw through it and defeated him. Then we have issues 30 through 35. So like it's a 6-part storyline where now they have to fight Argon, who is no longer associated with Karza. However, he's become power mad and desires to get the key. The Micronauts have now decided to find the Enigma Force because the Microverse and the Earth, or what they call the larger Macroverse, and the Microverse are going to collide and just shit's gonna blow up, pretty much. So the Microverse is in peril. Homeworld is in peril. Earth is in peril. Doctor Strange gets involved with issue 30 all the way through. But he's not with the Micronauts just yet. He isn't with them until issue 35. Doctor Strange reads the obelisk that reads that they have to find the 3 keys, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes back in time. He uses his powers to go back in time and he sees this dude, Prince Wayfinder, and discovers that he's a relative of Commander Ran, and becomes a time traveler. The time traveler, for those who don't know, time traveler is the past, present, and future versions of Arcturus Ran, and it's part of the Enigma Force. And the Enigma Force is basically, I don't know, the force that fucking keeps the universe going. I wasn't really too clear about what the significance was of the Enigma Force. Or maybe I just read it and it just escaped me. I just know that it fucks shit up. So that they go to find these 3 keys. They go to Polaria, they go to Sea Zone, they go to Sand Zone at Egypta, which is like a sand desert place. There's, what's his name? Pharoid of Egypta joins them because Acroyer left. But it turns out Feroid is a spy for Argon. Argon becomes the Force commander, again, like Darth Vader or like Baron Karza. So now he's got this black armor and he's going after his own sister and his lover, Lady Slug and Ran. So they've got to fight these demons and also unlock the tomb of Prince Wayfinder and, release the Enigma Force, which they do, of course. So it's a whole big saga. What else? At one point, a Croyer finds the third key. He ends up in Tropica and meets Devil and Fireflight. Then he rejoins the Micronauts, and then they all meet up at the Dead Zone with Doctor Strange, fight Argon. But then they escape. They escape because they're like, this dude's too powerful. Doctor Strange returns to Earth, but they prevent the microverse and the macroverse and the Earth and Homeworld from colliding. So, because they're suffering from planet quakes. So they forestalled disaster, their own version of Ragnarok, let's put it that way. But Argon is still alive. He's still a bad guy. He used to be a good guy. He's no longer a centaur, by the way. He's back to being a human after he broke away from Baron Karza. What else? It's interesting. I will say I've enjoyed Micronauts a lot more than I thought I would. Same with ROM too. I just figured these licensed properties, they're not really Marvel characters, even though they are part of the contiguous Earth 616, and there's villains and heroes from, familiar Marvel villains and heroes helping the Micronauts and ROM. I felt like I'm probably not going to like these books anyway, but no, I do. Bill Mantlo is very verbose, very talkative, likes to use a lot of words. He's an intelligent guy. He's a lawyer, for those of you who don't know. Poor guy was a victim of a hit and run accident, so it really fucked him up. But for the most part, though, if you can get past the insane amount of dialogue to read, ROM and Micronauts are pretty good books. So I'm actually looking forward to the third volumes of both books when they come out. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to move on to Generation X Volume 5, Family Business. Where is it? Oh, God. Okay, here it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, here it is. Volume 5, which came out a couple weeks ago, covering 1999 to 2000, Generation X 48 to 62, Annual 99, X-Man number 50, and New Warriors number 5. That's the next book right here, guys. Generation X Volume 5. I hope you guys got your copy. Then I'll read Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Homecoming, Ghost Rider Volume 3, Death Race, and I just put in the order, guys, for X-Men Volume 13, Wounded Wolf, which will be my 350th book to read. So yeah, this is 346, right? 346, 7. No, this is 347. Guardians is 348, Ghost Rider is 349, and X-Men is 350. And I love that. That X-Men is like my 350th book to read, guys. And then I will do the library tour for you. So sit tight, guys. Just give me a couple more days, maybe a week or so, and then we'll get to it. But that's the next book, guys. And this review was Micronauts Volume 2, Micronauts the Original Year, Volume 2, Home Sweet Homeworld. Get it too, guys, even though it's $49.99. This is actually, I think, this is $54.99. So this is another book that's $55. If you live in Canada, $68.75. I don't know. I'm still reading them, guys. They're expensive as hell, but I'm still reading them. All right. Leave your comments down below, guys, with any questions. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you'd like to see in some future videos. Again, I'm compiling a lot of ideas for once I finish my book reviews, which I'm just like, 3-4 more books away from. Oh my God, guys. Nearly 3 years I've been doing this, reading epics nonstop. So my head's, can't you tell? All right, guys. I'll see you. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you need to do. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.